All right, everybody, what's going on? I told you guys to tune in about 1 o'clock ish. We're about right at 1:04. Let me pull up this so I can see the comments. Mm. Hold on, you guys. It's coming. All right, volume down. Test the one, two. Okay, yeah, we're good. Good morning. What's going on, man? It's your boy Big Cell FHOHNIC, and today I have a special guest with me today. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is important to this man. He called me while I was on the road and just poured his heart out about the subject. And he asked me, could he bring it to you? Could he use the platform? And it's his story, his whole get out what he's going to explain to you is very much needed. One of the things I want to tell you guys too is that I always tell you that right here in the motorcycle community, there's so much to offer within ourselves. If we learn how to network and we learn how to work amongst each other and work amongst each other, work with each other, instead of always, having animosity for somebody that you might think is doing better than you or whatever it may be, there's so many opportunities and doors that can open. And this opportunity and this door right here that's been open or that's going to be talked about is a tremendous opportunity for the next generation coming up and even the generation in motion now. Um, and as always, let me give my disclaimer. What's going on, man, everybody? You're watching your boy FHO. You're watching your boy Big Cell, FHO HNIC. This is the FHO channel. This is a live interview. As always, your donations are needed in order to keep the channel moving forward. You can hit the $ at the end of your chat button to drop a super chat donation. You can also donate via Cash App, and you can also donate via PayPal. The Cash App info is $FHOHNIC, and the PayPal info is fasthardersonly@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm gonna let my guest introduce himself in just a minute, but let me say this. I want you to take the time to hear what he has to say and to understand why he's bringing this to you. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right before your eyes, and at the same time, a lot of times it appears as though we're turning our backs towards stuff and we're not seeing stuff. One of the things me and him talked about off camera real quick, and I'm gonna get into this, was the lady in Mississippi. Is she running for governor or senator?
Senator.
Mm-hmm. And she actually in a public speech mentioned said a comment, and I don't want to misquote it, but she had said that she would love to attend a public hanging. Okay, and that right there is enough to put you in rage, especially somebody that comes from the era for your parents and everybody else. And my whole thing, you guys know me, what I've been teaching and preaching is that everybody wants us to conform to the new way of thinking or to the new way of how things are going and to the new way of how things are being done. And I don't have to do that. And I refuse to do that. I'm going to stay a G. I'm going to stay, how I was raised in the streets as far as the G code and all that. And you're going to stay respecting me. I don't have to conform my respect or my understanding to your understanding, especially when it's some bullshit. I'm not doing that. For that lady to say that, it will not apologize about it.
Yeah.
She's refusing to apologize about it. And that's in Mississippi somewhere. And that whole town, city, and all my bike set community should be not even dealing with that town, city, and state. I can't tell people to move out and this and this and that. And I'm just saying, I want everybody to start waking up and realizing what the fuck is going on, man, because there's a lot of bullshit going on right here in front of us. Okay, that was just a mention on that. You can do the research on that, check it out. We might even talk about it more. But I want to introduce this man right here and let him talk about what he wants to talk about. I'll ask him some questions and take a few phone calls about the subject if we have to as we go along, man. But introduce yourself, brother.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mr. Biggs. I'm a member of the Flaming Knights Motorcycle Club. But I'm here today to talk about my field of aviation. Basically, most specifically, aviation maintenance. I've been an aircraft mechanic for 34 years, and it has blessed me tremendously. My family, it's just been really good to me, and I'm about to wind down my career, And it's like God just put this on my heart to. I've always done it, but I've never done it in a big form like this. I've always talked to young men, young ladies, and try to get them involved. Just
First, look, let's say this. What is an aircraft mechanic?
Okay, well, to start, aircraft mechanic, well, to become an aircraft mechanic, you have to go to school minimum 18 months.
Okay.
And basically, we do everything on the airplane. Your auto mechanic, aircraft mechanic, we do everything. There's different, there's a lot of different elements to it. Like I'm specifically a line mechanic. I've always worked the line maintenance, meaning at the terminal when the airplanes pull up to the gate. That's the kind of mechanic I am. We have guys that work in the hangar. We have guys that work in shops fixing, like when I replace a starter, it goes to the hangar. We have guys that just repair starters. So it's many different elements of it.
Why does it sound like something, when you say I'm an aircraft mechanic, why does it sound like something that you have to have more than 18 months to do? It sounds like a job and that might be what's intimidating. When you say, hey man, I got a job for you, aircraft mechanic.
Right.
It just sounds like that's something that you have to have a degree to do or something.
You do not need a degree. I don't have a degree. Never been to college. Went to trade school. Actually, I'm a little bit. I had aviation maintenance in high school in New York, and got into it. But you can go just to any aviation school, local schools. They're all over the country. Wherever you live, 9 times out of 10, there's an aircraft school there. A degree is not required. Actually, I tell people all the time, it's a waste of time getting a degree. Unless you want to get into, say, maybe management down the line. It looks good on a resume, but you really don't need a degree. 18 months of schooling, that's it.
Okay. So, what got you into aircraft mechanic? How did you become aircraft mechanic?
Well, to make a long story short, my uncle Al, and all my uncles, I have a plethora of uncles that he worked with and guys that he worked with, and I just grew up around them, and I call them all my uncles. But basically, growing up as a little boy in Brooklyn, my uncle had the nicest car. He dressed the best out the family. My cousins always had the nice toys and everything. And I just saw men that were working hard and they had nice things and they weren't selling drugs. They weren't, pimps. It was nice to see, and I just wanted to do that. So when I got into the 8th grade, they all worked for Eastern Airlines. So when I got into the 8th grade in New York, I went to my guidance counselor to sit down to see where I wanted to go to school, and my guidance counselor said, "What do you want to do in life?" I said, "I want to throw bags for Eastern Airlines." So she was like, "Well, that's not really a career, I said, "Well, look, everybody I know that work at Eastern, they doing damn good. They always got new cars and all that. I want to work for Eastern." So she said, "Well, you could be a mechanic or a pilot." I said, "Well, which one could I be faster?" And she said, "Well, probably an aircraft mechanic." And so she guided me to East New York Vocational Technical High School, where I took aviation maintenance and finished up in Teterboro. And so that's how I became a mechanic. And from day one, I tell people this: I have never, ever in my life bought an airline ticket, and I have been all over the world. I travel. People see me. I travel everywhere. I've never ever bought an airline ticket. Aviation has been really, really good to me. But I just feel that I just want to give back to people, man. People don't know about it. I meet people all the time. "Oh wow, aircraft mechanic. I never met an aircraft mechanic before." Well, it's not. Let me just stop and say this. When I got into aviation, there were a lot of people from the Vietnam War that had got out of the war and everything and had aviation in school in the military. Today, that's not really happening. There's a severe shortage of aircraft mechanics now, and in the foreseeable future, it is a severe shortage. And what I want to do is I just want to let people know about it. My people, anybody that asks me, I just want them to know that it is a great career. It is available. get your kids involved in it, it's a blessing, and it's gonna bless you because you will be able to fly free.
So the whole purpose of this video today was to say, listen, and when you gave me the numbers, it was shocking. What are the numbers? Let's talk about the numbers, because you say you're getting ready to retire.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do a few more years,
Okay.
and so I work for Delta, and I am not here as a Delta representative. Let me say that, but I'm just giving you my story. This is just my story. But basically, let's just say here in Atlanta, there's 6,000 mechanics here in Atlanta for Delta. Okay, it's 9,800 worldwide, but 6,000 here in Atlanta. 77% of those guys were able to retire 3 years ago.
Okay.
So, with that being, there is a severe shortage here in Atlanta, but it's actually, the shortage is worldwide.
Okay.
It's really worldwide, and so coming out of school, I mean, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. You they will hire you if you come out of school with an AMP license. You can't get a job in aviation. People ask all the time, what are starting salaries? Well, if you get with most major airlines, day one, you walk in with no experience whatsoever, $20+ an hour.
Okay.
Topping out, some airlines top out over $60 an hour. Some airlines, depending if you can get in with FedEx, UPS, those guys are making over $70 an hour. And then you gotta put in the fact of overtime. When you work overtime, time and a half, double time, that's over $100-some an hour. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
So the purpose of this video, man, was for him to come here and talk about the possibilities of an 18-month schooling would end up in a career that he is just basically saying, hey, I want to see more of us in it.
Yes.
It's a dying field that does not have to die because it's still thriving and it's still a field that's very much needed. Like I say, when he called me, I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it on the show. Let's put it out there. Did you get a chance to research any schools here locally that people can attend?
Yes.
Okay.
Here in Atlanta, there's, in fact, I just went to AIM, Aviation Institute of Maintenance up in Duluth. I went there yesterday, and they gave me a tour and everything. In fact, they like what I had to say. I spoke to students. They liked it so much, they invited me to speak at their graduation that's coming up. AIM, like I said, that's up in Duluth. You have a school down in Middle Georgia, which is a state-run school. There's money set aside. Georgia, okay, so let me, Delta is so important to Georgia that the state of Georgia gives a little more money to the Hope Scholarship for kids that are going into aviation maintenance. Okay. That's how important Delta is to Georgia. So if you live here in the state of Georgia, you can get money to go to school. You have the Hope Scholarship, you have the Pell Grant, you have loans, of course. You have there's a school that it's not from Governor Deal that's opening up in Paulding County. It's going to be a state-run school. If you get in that school, you're going to be able to go to that school for free. Free. You ain't got to pay nothing. They just want people to go to the school, to become aircraft mechanics. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People go to college, take out loans and, $50,000 in debt to come out to get a job paying $60,000 a year, maybe $70,000. If you're lucky, $80,000 a year, maybe. Day one in aviation, depending on what time of the year you get hired, your first year you could probably make $100,000.
Yeah.
Real easy. So I like I said, somebody did it for me, and I just want to give back. And I'm taking these next few years to get as many people as I can involved in it. I tell you a funny story. I bought my bike from Harley in Atlanta, and it's a kid always behind the counter. I like going to him. I like talking to him, Ian. And so I've been talking to Ian for about a year. And I went into this August to get a part something, was talking to him. He pulled me aside. He said, "Hey, he's like, I gave Harley my 2-week notice." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Yeah, I'm starting A&P school. I'm starting school in September." I was like, wow, man, that's great. So he's actually in school because of me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, this is a field that you can retire from, that you can make good money from. It's a lifetime. And my thing, it was just interesting to me how simple it is to and I say simple, I mean you still have to put some hard work in to go to school and learn and graduate. So, but still, it's still a simple field that I would think that would be a field that's mostly unreachable to to the average person, but it's not. It's right there within reach.
So let me just give you a little something. So you have to have it's 2 licenses you have to get. You have to get the airframe license and the power plant license. The airframe, the structure of the aircraft. The power plant is the engine of the aircraft. So, and then you have to take the general, which is electrical and all this general stuff. So it's actually 3 tests you have to take. Let me tell you how simple it is. So you go to school, you have to study, you pass all your classes, and then you have to take the FAA test. So let me tell you how simple it is. Most schools, the FAA test, it's 3,000 questions, okay? Out of that 3,000, they're gonna give you 300. They're going to give the person sitting next to you another 300 questions out of that. So everybody in that class taking that test is going to get 300 questions out of that 3,000. So what do schools do? They give you all 3,000 questions to study. Usually you have about 6 weeks to study. What everybody do? They highlight the answers. You highlight the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it's time to take the test is they give you about 4 hours to take the test. If you in there 45 minutes,
that's too long.
That's too long. So you're stupid. Hey, there's a question on there I remember from when I took it back in the 80s. There's one question. It's a formula for rivets. Okay, and the answer is 56 rivets. I remember that today. The answer is 56 rivets.
Okay.
So it is so easy. It is reachable, but people just need to know about it. And so that's why I'm here, to just let you know it is obtainable for anybody that want to do it.
That's cool. And again, this is my brother from the motorcycle community, Flaming Knights. And these are the opportunities that I tell you are within the bike culture, man. These are the kind of people that you can reach out to. All you gotta do is open your mouth, man, and be who you are and who you need to be. And when you when you go to these events, don't just party, don't just grab your beer and go sit in the corner or do whatever. Man, get to meet people, get to mix and talk to people, man, and you'll be surprised at all the opportunities and the doors that are open. I always constantly profess that in the community, everything we need is right there. From a plumber to a doctor to a lawyer to a house builder to an electrician to the other trades and stuff like that. This is a pure and prime example of that. You feel what I'm saying? Because this opportunity, like I said, even when he told me about it, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Is there age requirement?
There's no age requirement.
Okay.
In fact, when I went to the school yesterday, the lady that was giving me the tour said that the oldest student they ever had was 60 years old, graduated and got placed.
Yeah.
When you go to most of these schools, they pretty much guarantee you placement in an airline, in a job. So
is it a strenuous job? Is it a job that'll stress you out?
Man, my wife ain't here, huh? Man, listen, I work hard. Yeah, man. I come home every day. I'm
tired and stressed out.
Oh, she went to the bathroom? Okay, listen, I don't do shit. I don't do nothing. But now I don't pay my dues.
Yeah, you out there. You up there.
I spent time on night shift grinding, fixing the airplane. But no, it's not a strenuous job. It is. So
it's not like an air traffic controller.
No. Listen. Anybody that's in the aircraft maintenance, especially when you're coming up, we always tell, if you get to a point where you don't know something, stop and ask somebody.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna, if you not sure, nobody's gonna let you go out there and do anything that you've never done before. Mm-hmm. It is not a hard job at all. It's not. And technology is constantly changing. They send us to school every year.
Yeah,
there's new systems coming out. Delta has a new airplane coming out in January. Nobody, we're the first one to fly this airplane.
Whoa.
Nobody know about it. This airplane has a window in the bathroom. I ain't never been on an airplane that had a window in the bathroom.
Whoa.
But it's not a hard job.
I guess you could see the world while you shit on at
Man,
the same
yeah,
time.
there you go. No, I'll tell you a funny story. So I rode to the roundup last year, Kansas City. When the roundup was over, me and a couple of my brothers, we rode. We said, hell, we halfway. Let's go to Sturgis. So we rode to Sturgis. Coming back from Sturgis, my bike broke down somewhere in somewhere. I don't know where. But anyway, somewhere about 50 miles short of St. Louis. Bike broke down, pulled over the side of the road, and a guy just happened to come by with a trailer. Well, no, he came by with his family. And he's, look, I got a little bike shop up the road, everything. We drop my family off. I come back and get your bike. I said, man, great. Rod, shout out to Rod, man. But anyway, so he dropped his family, came back about 15 minutes later with a trailer. The guys loaded up the bike. I jumped in the car. They took me to the airport. I ran, got through security. About 7 minutes to go before the flight left. I made it, jumped on the flight, flew back to Atlanta. The last flight for the night, flew back to Atlanta. Rod called me up the next day, said, hey man, it's my voltage regulator. Ordered a voltage regulator, he put it in for me. I said, hey man, I'm off next week. I'll fly out there and get the bike. I flew out, he picked me up, rode to his house, picked up the bike, we went and picked some tomatoes on his farm and rode back to Atlanta. But when you an aircraft, you can do stuff like that. Sometimes, there have been times, one time, I didn't have nothing to do. I was off on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I didn't have nothing to do. I picked up my phone, I said, where can I go? And Santiago, Chile, flights wide open, first class. Got there that night, jumped on the airplane. We left about 9:30 that night, flew 9 hours, Santiago, Chile, first class, got drunk, had a steak dinner, watched a couple of movies, went to sleep, got to Chile 7 o'clock that morning, did a tour of the city on the tour bus, hop on and off, back to the airport that night, flew back home, did it all over again.
Yeah.
I was back home the next day, 5:30 in the morning. I spent 7 hours in Santiago, Chile. So now somebody said, you ever been to Chile? I was like, man, yeah, I've been to Chile.
It's nothing.
Yeah, I've been to Chile. But this is the lifestyle that we can have. And I want, it, like I said, God has blessed me with it. And I just want to share it with y'all to let you know that, you can do it too. If you have a young man, a young lady, they don't want to go to college. You don't.
That's actually easier than going to the military.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. No obligations.
Yeah.
You got no obligation, and ain't nobody gonna shoot at you.
Yeah.
Of course, it's easier. If you go into the military, I was gonna go into the military, but guess what? They told me if you go into the military, you're gonna work on one part of the airplane. I went to McGuire Air Force Base in New Jersey, and a guy called me over. We were taking the tour, and the brother called me over and said, hey kid, come here. He said, you thinking about joining the Air Force? I said, yes sir. Yeah. He said, you see these blades? I'm balancing these blades. He said, I've been balancing these blades for goddamn 4 fucking years, and I'm tired of these motherfucking blades, man. He said, don't do it, run.
Is that what
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
I said, okay, deuces.
Yeah.
And I didn't go in the military. Why spend? Why? I mean, unless you just want to go, why go to the military 4 years? When you come out, guess what? You either have to go to an A&P school to still get your license, or you have to show them that you did everything in the military, which you're not going to get. So you're still going to have to go to school. We got people in the military all the time that go to school. So why? Just 18 months, go to school, get your license.
And I appreciate your passion on this, man, and the fact that you said, hey, man, these are opportunities that we are, as a people, are just throwing by the wayside, man.
Right.
And that's why you're here today, because you want us, or everybody, whoever is listening, to take advantage of these opportunities, man. Right. So this is another example of all you have to do is get out and look, and the opportunity is there. You have no excuses for failures. Right. And this is somebody who's willing to give you this information and tell you about his journey, his lifestyle, so that you can make a better appropriate choice when it comes to getting there and getting responsible and having a job and having something decent. Because one of the things too is that I got a lot of partners that's over the road truckers. They getting tired of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this can be something that you can fall out of and fall into, man. And again, I thank you, brother. And like I said, I just always was under the notion that this was a job that took a college degree or a college education, 4 years or plus or whatever. And you're saying that the hiring rate is for sure guaranteed. It's a high hiring rate.
Right now is prime. Right now, if you come out of school right now, I probably about 99% you will get hired right off the bat. Right off the bat. And back in the day, you had to start at a local general aviation, making $9-10 an hour, $12 an hour, or go to a regional airline. Regionals, pay probably say 15 up to $20 an hour regional. But now you can go right into a major airline. Some of the majors are starting, $23 an hour start. And sky's the limit, man. I mean, like I said, there are companies out there that are paying after you progress after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you're making $70 an hour.
Whoa.
$70 an hour. What could you do with that? What? Any damn thing you wanted to.
That beat Booby on the block for sure.
And most companies, work shoes free. They provide free work shoes. Your uniform, of course, is free. They provide work shoes, safety glasses. You go get a prescription and give them free safety glasses.
It's just a lot of benefits.
The perks are ridiculous. The perks are ridiculous. You discount on hotels, discount on cars. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's all I'm simply saying, it is doable, man. Yeah. And all you have to do is just Google aviation school in your area. Wherever you live in the country, just go to Google and look for aviation maintenance schools and go in and talk to them. And I'm telling you, most, like I said, 18 months, some schools are 21 months because they had the testing time part of it, but it's obtainable.
Basically within 2 years though.
If you on the bike set and listen, you're in your 20s, your 30s, hell, even if you're in your 40s and you want to change careers, you still got time. You still got time to put 20 years in and do it. You could do it. It is something that is.
Do you have to test to get into the school? Like do they have like a minimum, like a GED type testing type thing?
You know what? I think they require to bring a transcript.
Okay.
I think you have to bring a transcript. I don't think.
Do you have to be a high school graduate? You don't know.
Yes.
You do have to.
Yes. You have to be a high school graduate.
Or equivalent.
Yes. Yeah. Or equivalent. Yes.
So you at least have to have that high school diploma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. High school diploma or GED.
Okay.
Yes. To get in, and that's it, man. It is, and like I said, man, it's people don't know. Now you know. You got no excuses.
Yeah.
Talk to yourself. If you want to do it for yourself, or talk to your child about it. Like I said, I was standing in the jetway last week. Lady pushing the wheelchair. We just started talking and whatnot, and she was asking me about aviation. And, she just started talking to me. And before the last passenger the lady took my number down, and she said she has 2 sons, 126 and 120, and she wanted them to look into it, check into it. A young lady from the motorcycle set, Facebook friend, hit me up on Facebook and said her daughter was interested. Would I mind talking to her daughter? I sent her my number. Her daughter called me. Her daughter's starting school in December. Man, it's doable. You just got to know about it. So now you don't have no excuse.
Like I said, man, one of the things you got to, and I want to thank this brother for sharing this, because a lot of people think that we keep stuff to ourselves. And then we do got some fucked up people out there that keep the dream to themselves. But this is a brother willing to share to you the dream, the possibilities of getting your life in order, going to the next step, and not even for you, just for your kids, the next generation up under you. So this gives us another outlet, man. Gives us another outlet to have another vision to see. And I just thank you for it, brother, because like I said, when you called and told me about it, I'm like, well, why don't nobody know how easy it is? You know, why we don't know how easy it is.
Right, exactly.
And it's just a matter of somebody, passing down information, somebody teaching and letting it go. Do you have, you say you gave the information about the schools and the land and so forth, but all they have to do is research.
Yeah, basically just go and do your research. Look up aviation maintenance schools,
Okay.
and just Google it and look schools in your area. Like I said, most schools they're gonna be minimum is 18 months, but most schools will be 18 months to 21 months.
Yeah.
Because they factor in
The test part.
the test part of it, because it's three parts of the test. It's the written test, the oral, and the practical.
Okay.
But it's everything that you just learned. Tell me about what you just learned and show me what you just learned. It's simple. If you get a chance, go to my daughter's. My daughter is a full-time blogger, and Stamped Diary, and look at my daughter's page. She has been all over the world, and so and I'm saying, I'm not saying, I'm not doing this to boast about my life and anything, but I'm just, because aviation has blessed me, I've been able to bless my children, have traveled all over. But my daughter she's a full-time blogger, and all she does is teach millennials on how to travel. It's Stamped Diary, and you will see some phenomenal pictures from Bali, Rio.
I got a question. My WM says, no, I'm sorry. Mr. Caesar TAMG, what are some certifications that can increase your pay in that industry?
Okay, so really nothing. Now, let me just say this. You have to have a A&P, an airframe and power plant license. If you have
just say I'm an electrician, and
right. Well, because that's all included
in the same
thing.
So it just makes you better at it.
If you have a FCC, depending on what airline you work at, some airlines will give you, like, say 50 cents for having an FCC license, something like that.
Yeah.
But
there are no other real certifications. This is totally a total.
Yeah.
Go to school, get this, and that's it.
That's really all you need.
And from there, you take off.
Right. Once you get on with an airline, okay, you get engine run certified. You can get a little more money for that. You get taxi certified. You can get a little more money for that. But for
as far as coming in,
yeah, you really,
it's kind of
man. We talking about coming in at $20-some. Everything else is pennies.
Yeah.
Everything else is pennies.
Okay, let me see. I'm going through here. I can see Black Dragon has kicked up a lot of issues about the statement we said about the woman and her statement. Black Dragon, let me say this, man, and I'm going to just say this as respectfully as I can. I don't have a problem with your opinion on shit as far as how you see shit, but on my channel and how I see shit is totally different. What I'm telling you is that it's a lot of stuff that's being said, underlined, no matter the context or no matter, whatever it is. She said some fucked up shit, it was fucked up. And the whole world is recognizing it as fucked up and they're asking her to apologize. And she doesn't want to apologize, which is letting you know that it's some fucked up shit. She's standing on the grounds of her white power, her white authority, or her white privilege. That's what they call it, white privilege, I guess. I want to be politically correct. And they have this thing where they don't feel like they have to apologize, or they have to answer questions, or they have to do this. And that shit is getting tiresome and it's getting old. And it's taking us in a direction where we don't need to be going in, period. If what she said was offensive in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and it was offensive, it is what it is. Her being in the position that she is what's the problem. Because once in that kind of position, once you put it out there and you get the other people to believe it or whatever, it just becomes an issue. So I don't know exactly what she said. That's why I didn't quote or claim this as a quote as to exactly what she said. And the problem that like with Black Dragon, you try to break shit down and analyze shit to the fullest in the word of I just want you to have the truth. Sometimes I don't need the whole 100% breakdown of of the version of the truth. All I know is that was kind of fucked up. She said it's just like, for example, when I say some fucked up shit, I own up to it. Period. What you got?
Okay, so this is her exact statement.
You got exact statement.
This is exact statement. She said, and a man had, I don't know who the guy was, but he invited her, and she was standing next to him, and she said, if he invited me to a public hanging, I'd be on the front row. Okay. Now, let me just say this. If you go in to look at statistics, Mississippi has the highest hanging rate from 18, I think it was like 18,
whatever it was.
Something to 1968. Okay. It's the highest. That's nothing to joke about. But here's the issue. She refuses to apologize about it. Okay, you don't want to apologize. Even if she does apologize, you know she don't mean it. But this is my point in it. How come black people always got to just take shit? Why we got to take it? We ain't got to take that. You know what? Let me tell you something. I put out on my page that I don't think we should, go to the roundup. The only thing they understand is when you hit them in the pocket. Let me tell you something. If, let's just say, a large percentage of people say we're not going to the roundup unless this lady apologizes, I bet you goddamn it she'll apologize. I bet you somebody,
I'm gonna tell you like
somebody up above will make her.
I bet you they won't, because see, this is the thing, and I'm gonna say this. This is the thing why they won't, because we got people like Black Dragon who gonna try to justify it or make or soften it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what's wrong with. And in my last get out I did about homosexuals. Okay, and again, I'm not against homosexuals. I'm just against them being in my lane. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not against homosexuals. I just don't want you in my lane. One of my brothers from Oakland, California called and said, we as black, especially the black biker community, we accept everything. Yeah. We don't fuss, we don't fight, we don't argue. Just let it go. Don't worry about it. And that's becoming a problem.
Right.
That's a problem with us, with the black bike set in the community. And that's what I'm saying. And like I said, especially when you got people like Black Dragon trying to smooth it over. Well, that's not what she said. There's no need to get upset about it. There is a need to get upset about it. Yeah. There is a need to be fucked up about it, because what she said was fucked up.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. And again, I'm telling you, brother, if we was to hold a rally to boycott Mississippi from going to the roundup in Mississippi, it'll only be two motherfuckers out there boycott, me and you.
Yeah, probably.
Because everybody else gonna say, well, still, man, I mean, shit, that shit really ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I'm going up in here into the roundup.
Let me say this. My wife went to her and some friends went to the slave museum in Montgomery last Friday, and my wife came home and everybody that went was emotionally touched by what they saw. One of the things that my wife told me, she said they have hundreds of jars, masonry jars, and in each jar is dirt in the jar with a name in the front of, and what it is, back in the time, black people cut black people down from the trees, okay? And it was customary that when they cut somebody down from a tree, that they would scoop up some dirt from underneath them and just put it in a jar, okay? Those jars are on display. 9 times out of 10, one of your ancestors is in one of them damn jars, okay? The pillars, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pillars out there with all of these names from all over the United States. And I saw some names: Brown, last name Brown, last name Thompson, last name Jefferson, last name Jones, last name, how many Joneses are out there in the bike set? How many Thompsons are out there in the bike set?
Come on, man. We listen. We can get into the history of this shit. We can get into the history of this shit forever and go on forever.
Right.
And again, I like I said, Black Dragon, you sound a little Kanye West to me, homie. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say it. I mean, you're getting to the point now to where it don't even make no sense. If that's how you feel, brother, you're entitled to how you feel. I'm entitled to how I feel. He's entitled to how he feel. And I'm telling you, what she said was, if she was joking and or not, that was a bad joke.
Yeah.
And just like our black leaders, when they make a bad joke, they get their ass punished for it. They get their ass ridiculed for it. Right. She should have her ass punished and ridiculed just as well.
Exactly.
So, boom, there it is there. Mr. Caesar TAMG, get at me, man. 424-242-2355. Congratulations on their new Harley Davidson. All right, we see if West. Okay, just different people talk. I'm trying to find people that's talking about this subject. This other subject, I don't want to get into it because I'm not a political person. I can give a fuck less about the politics. I do what I have to do. I vote. I am a registered voter. I vote when it's time for me to vote, and I believe in what I believe in. So my views are a little shit. I don't right wingers, left wingers, off wingers, nigga wingers, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Those are my views. So, let me see. No W there, not some mama swoops, Black Dragon people. Okay. Alright, let me see. I'm trying to get past all this other stuff. Bless the brother taking it. I hope everything received his message. Okay. Aircraft mechanic in the Navy. They're major bread there when you get out. So that's what's really hood. That's what's really hood. Thank you. Caught you live. What up, Chico? What up, Freddie Chico? I'm paying attention, brother. Trust me. Airframe and power plant. KPJ, airframe and power plant. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, those are the licenses that you have to have. Airframe and power plant.
Okay.
Right.
So KPJ, you must be getting to that money there. Are there any highly recommended schools that our aviation industry goes to first for hiring in the Atlanta area?
Yes,
okay.
they are. Actually, there are schools that I'm trying to think of the word that are Delta has partnered with 40 schools all around the country.
Okay.
AIM up in Duluth is one of them.
That's a Delta
it's
Delta partner school.
Delta partnered school, meaning when you graduate, Delta's going to be there to offer you a job. So that is a Delta partner school.
That was a good question. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Caesar TMG. Oh no, that was who was that from? I mean, Rodney Anderson.
Yeah.
That was a good question. My local city community college actually just invested 26 million into this type of program. Okay.
Yeah.
Are these jobs only available in Georgia?
No. Wherever there's an airplane. But what you have to realize. So U.S. Air. Not U.S. American now. American has hubs. American has hubs in Miami. So you work in Miami, but they have hubs in Charlotte. Delta has hubs in Atlanta. We out in Seattle. So what you have to realize, there are line stations all over the country. So wherever you live, wherever there's an airport, 9 times out of 10, there's an aviation school there, and they provide jobs at the airport, that particular airline. But that's on a smaller basis.
My man, What's Really Hood says they are everywhere. Only issue is most of the schools are only available during the day, so it can be kind of difficult if you have a family and need to work a 40-hour job. And let me say this, okay, to my man, What's Really Hood. One of the things that you have to understand is this too, is that when it comes to reaching for your goal, it's going to be hard. It's going to be long days and short nights. It's going to be sacrifices that have to be made, and it's going to be stuff that you have to do. But what I'm telling you is this is what I want you to think about. This is my question to each and every one of the people that's watching this. If I told you to give me 21 months, and on the 22nd month, I'm going to be giving you starting, let's say $5,000 a month, and then within a year you'll be making $10,000 a month. So I'm gonna take you on the 22nd month. You're gonna be making $60,000 a year, and then from there you're gonna be going to $100,000+ a year. Would you make the sacrifice? Would you do whatever you had to do? And that's how you have to look at things. A lot of times we look at the short part of it instead of looking at the long haul part of it.
Right there.
You feel what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself that question. It's just like I'm gonna tell you a question I ask all my young cats. If I was to allow you to sell dope and ball and have the the dream, as they said, the American gangster dream, for 5 years, you get to be the roughest, toughest dope dealer, all the money in the world, shit on money, piles of money, all the cars you want to drive, mansions, all the females you want to fuck, just everything that part of the dream. But on the 6th year, you got to go away and do 25 years. Would you do it?
Not worth it.
Huh?
No.
Would you do it?
No.
But for 5 years, I'm gonna give you the dream. I mean, you're gonna live it. Ain't no shortage on shit.
Right.
You're gonna get out there. You're gonna ball. You're gonna be respected. You're gonna be feared. Right. You're gonna drive everything. You're gonna have the flyest women. You're gonna be in all that. You're gonna get to make it rain. you're gonna be the baddest motherfucking D-boy that ever lived in the history of D-boyism for 5 years. But on that 6th year, you gotta go lay it down for 25.
Yeah, that part.
Cold question.
Yeah.
And this is what I ask all of my young cats when I catch them out there in the streets, man. Is it worth it at the end of the day? Because this is the thing.
Yeah.
That is an actual possibility.
Yes, exactly. That's true.
That is a factual, actual possibility. So right now, what he's telling you is this, is that whatever you're doing, whatever you're not doing, wherever you're thinking about going, this man has just showed you that in 21 months of total sacrifice, you can put your life in a better place for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your, and not only you, your family.
Period.
Position your family. And to answer to second that question, there are AIM actually does, they have night classes. So you can, and then they also are offering I believe 3-day weekend classes, something like that, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. So they pretty much trying to make it impossible for your excuse. You know?
K-Page, I worked a few years as an aircraft mechanic doing repairs on F-18 wing fold transmissions and leading edge flaps. Okay. Doing code working on elongated holes on the doors of the aircraft, but I never got my airframe power plant. I should have.
Yeah. And do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not too late. Just go do it. Just do it. I'll tell you something else that people don't know about. Okay, so America is all over the world. Our military. Okay, the United States government. There are agencies that hire aircraft mechanics under contract for a year, and I'm gonna give you a basic contract. If I wanted, I could go somewhere, Kuwait, Afghanistan, you know, somewhere, and work on a military base, work on military aircraft. Some of these contracts will pay. They'll pay you $160,000-$170,000 a year, tax free.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like this doing that too. I got a question for you.
Free.
Somebody says, "Can you be a felon and qualify?"
No.
You cannot be a felon.
No.
So that excludes
Yeah.
a lot of people. So you cannot have a felon to be an aircraft mechanic.
Yeah, because
So this for all my good Negroes.
Yeah.
No felons allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. And that was a good question too from Mr. C to TMMG. Sounds almost like the railroad industry. Okay, where we at? You don't even know me. Okay. Hey, what up, Arnita? Let me see. Y'all sound.
Well, while he's doing that, I'm gonna tell you something else. So you go get your aircraft license, and you work in the airline industry. After 9/11, the airline industry kind of fell off because of 9/11 and everything. There were guys going into you go over and work at Six Flags on the hydraulic systems and the compressor system, the air conditioning systems. You can go into the train system, work on train diesel. Sky's the limit, man. When you have that license, you're not stuck to aviation. Most people love the aviation because of the benefits of the flying and everything, but you don't have to stay there. You can go into any other industry that you want.
There it is there. So I'm trying to find some more questions. John B, what up? There it is. Okay, WM, I got you. What up, I guy? Thanks for allowing that you should. Okay. Money talks. Everybody targets black consumers because we don't vote with our dollars. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. My thing with that is, when is enough? When is enough? When do we take it back?
So we did. I had about 3 questions about felons. Can felons get the jobs in aviation? No. Never be afraid to speak your mind. I never will be. You guys already know that. When I spoke on the issues, affected. They won't hire felons, Mr. C. At least not hire. They won't. He just said it here too. FAA, which is the federal, so probably at every state. Hey, Bruce, what up, Junkie Bruce? Aircraft industry, I really put it out there. Thank you. What about felons? I think we answered that. A little boring. See you. Repeat what you said about the career again. Okay. Truthfully, we need to address the issue before the next 2 years is up. I saw the first sign. Okay. Most people are lazy, say all they want and instantly refuse to put in work. I work for the railroad, great money and benefits, but very time demanding. And I agree. That's one of the biggest things that I hear too, and especially with what we got going on today. It's time from the youth, man. The youth that have no clue of hard work, dedication, and the long haul. They only see it right now, and because they're watching these rap videos, and I don't want to blame it on nobody. They're watching society through the television, through the tube. You feel what I'm saying? And that is what's becoming a problem, man. And then this the other part too is everybody wants us to accept the shit that used not to be acceptable. And I still say we'll go to my grave saying I have a problem with that.
I guess when I look back, at growing up,
there is no age requirement. The question was, what's the age requirement? There is no age requirement.
No age requirement. When I look back at my life growing up, TV, you watch TV. I mean, we watch, Soul Train and all the, the black shows that were on. The Cosby Show was probably the first show with affluential black people, on TV. But nowadays, you see the bling and the cars, the women and all of this, and kids see that stuff. Back in the day, for me, my uncles were the only ones that I saw that had nice cars. That they worked, and they worked hard for that. That was it.
Somebody told me to mention this. Also include that drug tests are mandatory. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I have no issues with being drug tested. I don't smoke, I don't drink. That's just me. And I don't have no issues with nobody that do. But understand this, for every action, there's a reaction. For everything you do, there's a consequence. And this is what people have to understand. Drugs themselves, period. I'm not going to call them bad, but they are mood altering. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't even want you at McDonald's making my cheeseburger if you're high as a motherfucker. You subject to put American cheese, and I want Swiss cheese with your high ass. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't have no problem with no drug test or no hell. I think everybody should have to be drug tested to be in a motorcycle club. That's just my own personal opinion. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want a motherfucker on this motorcycle high or drunk next to me. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: statistics show that most of the time the drunk driver or the person that caused the accident walk away, but everybody that he was around, he affected. They die. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga the person that was high or drunk, he get up and walk away from the accident. You know what I'm saying? But he done killed up 2-3 other people because he was high drunk. So that's just my personal opinion on drug tests. If you got a job that drug test, you don't smoke weed. If you want to smoke weed, have enough money. See, that's what I'm saying. Those are what you call luxuries.
Listen, let me tell you something. Man. If somebody told me, okay, you know what, Biggs, you could trade your life for a job where you could smoke weed and everything, do whatever you want, but you ain't gonna make what you making now. You can have that. You can have that weed.
That part.
Okay. And anybody, listen, man. So we can't even use Listerine 2 hours prior to work because if you go into work and it's random. If you go into work and you have to go blow, you're gonna blow alcohol. You're gonna get fired. Okay, so it tells you we cannot use Listerine. No problem.
Somebody said they think the federal law caps it at 42, but that may be medical or chaplaincy. Chaplaincy, whatever that is.
No, that's not true.
Chaplaincy. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what it is.
Yeah, no.
My boy Marcus Edwards, big seller, watching live, interesting topic. My lady's in the aviation industry. She works for a company, a contractor that's in the government contract. So that's cool. She said she loves it. How much does the school usually cost?
Okay. So AIM right now, AIM is 41,000. Okay, and like I said, they have funds. The Pell Grant, it's 41,000, and from what I understand, starting next year, it's going up to 49,000. Most schools are around that, but again, if you find a state, there's a school, Baker, down in Miami. I think Baker is like $1,500 for each license. That's $3,000. Okay, you could go. I mean, you got to move to Miami, but you can go down there and get a job.
But if you're in Georgia, you get all these grants from being a high
it's
school graduate
grants,
and stuff.
right?
So yeah.
Now AIM is a private school, so they don't accept the Hope. But you can get a loan. Or and you have the Pell Grant. But most schools are in that 40 range, And like I said, if you go to college, you're gonna be 40, 50 automatic. Okay, and when you come out,
you still gotta search and look for a job.
You gotta look for a job.
A1 Story said, I had a union job in the steel industry with free insurance benefits and couldn't give my jobs away because people couldn't take a drug test.
Right. Yeah.
You got to make decisions, people.
Yeah.
I worked at a company that had random drug tests, and they would pull a name and give you 3 months to clean up people still fail. Hey, man. Cost of an education is an investment in one's self-responsibility. Pay it back and never look back. So this is my thing. Okay. I brought the man on to talk about it. It's an opportunity. It's out there. If it's not even for you, maybe for one of your youngest that's coming up under you. And this is my biggest thing. Like I tell everybody, on the motorcycle set, the OGs have got tired of talking because they feel like nobody is listening. I don't know if you guys consider me an OG or not, but I'm talking, and I hope whoever's listening. And I don't care if one person out of the 100 and some people that was watching this live got this message and was able to use it and pass it on, then my job is well done. You feel what I'm saying? People can criticize me. I put myself in the public. People judge me. I put myself in the public. People secretly, hate on me, inbox me. And you got all these titles of opinion. I don't have a problem with that. I take it all because I'm a man. I know I'm a man, and I stand on what I stand on. And, hey, you like I say, you don't know me to talk about me. You don't know me you don't know my life, my struggles. So I don't really give a damn about any of that. All I'm telling you is that when I come on here, it's a message. It's in there. And again, all I'm asking God to do is bless one person with the message that they may carry it forth, and then my job is done. This man's job is done. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to give you his secret. He didn't have to give you this bit of knowledge. Like I said,
I don't get nothing from it. I just.
So again, if it's not for you, it may be for your nephew that you see coming up going in the wrong direction. Your niece coming up going in the wrong direction. A cousin, an uncle, whoever it may be. Pass it on. Say, hey, Unc, man, I just on Big Sales Live today. They was talking about the aviation license, man, 18, 21 months, and boom. And it's there. The man is showing you the job differential. There's 6,000 jobs available that are opening up, and they can't even fill a dang job.
They can't fill them.
You feel what I'm saying? So, again, that's all this whole live was about. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys got the information. And if you need more information about it, if they want to talk to you personally,
you can hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook, Anthony Biggs. Send me a message, and make sure it's the older Anthony Biggs, because my son is Anthony Biggs also. But just hit me up on Facebook, Anthony Biggs, and send me a message, and I will definitely get back with you. Any questions you have, if I can guide you, I know a couple of schools, around the country that really good schools. I can give you the list of Delta schools. Like I said, there are 40 Delta schools all over the country, and those schools are specifically. Delta has put interest in those schools, and Delta will be at the graduations of those schools saying, okay, we'll take you. So I have no problem doing it, man. But like I said, if it's not for you, I gotta understand. But we all gonna come across a kid that need a little guidance, man. Just talk to him. Every day at work, it's cleaners. I see cleaners at work cleaning the airplane, young men, and they work at the airport for these agencies making minimum wage. And I talked to them, you know, and they like, wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, you right here. So, man, just talk to a young person, man, and give them the information, man. Just Google aircraft maintenance schools and just do the damn thing.
So there it is there, man. If it's not for you, pass it on. You feel what I'm saying? And as always, when I tell you guys, I love you. I truly do. Again, this man didn't have to take his time to come over into the office to spread this information and to share it with you. And because we both know how we are as a people sometimes. Yeah. We get something good and we keep it to ourselves. And, you know, you don't want to share it because you don't want nobody else to have it. This man is saying, hey, I'm out here living my best life. This is how you can do it. This is how I did it. And he's willing to share that with you. So take advantage of it, ladies and gentlemen. Again, man, much love and peace and understanding to everybody. People, just wake up and understand that it's happening all around us. Period. All kinds of crazy shit, all kinds of unnecessary shit. And this is the biggest thing. And this is my message to the entire world. Stop telling me that I have to conform to your ways or I have to accept this new shit, because I don't. And I'm not. That's my only, that at the end of the day, that's what I want to say is quit telling me that I have to accept the buffoonery and other stuff that's been going, because I don't have to accept it. I know it's there. I'm not blind to the fact, but I don't have to accept it. And all I'm saying is stay out of my lane and I'm gonna stay out of yours. Everything has a place and everything has a it has its own time and its own place. Well, get in that place and get in that time and quit trying to force your space and your place on my space and my place. And it's just that simple. We can all get along. You know, and the famous words of my man Rodney King, can we all get along?
That's it.
To my man Black Dragon, no love lost. I'm just telling you, brother, you know, the kumbaya shit on my page ain't gonna work. These ain't the kumbaya type motherfuckers. They don't kumbaya over here. On your page, they can go over there and kumbaya. So, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to everybody that enjoyed this. Man, let's just keep living life, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for my man Jeff Schultz for the donation to the channel. I appreciate that. Don't forget, man, this is the most important, that I cannot do this without you guys' donations. No Big Cell ain't over here getting rich. No, I'm not over here making millions and millions of dollars off this shit. I don't. I do this shit because I love it. Whether they ever paid me or they didn't pay me, I'ma still be here. I'm not selling out. I promise you I'm not selling out. I don't have the connections that I have. I don't get to hang with the people that I hang with because I'm a sellout. I don't get the information that I get, the inside scoop from all my OMC partners, my 1%ers, because I'm a sellout. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to stay me, and God is going to bless me the way he said he is. And that's all I'm asking. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. It's too much stuff. I love you guys. Hey, there it is there. It's your boy, Big Cell FHOH, and I see Mr. Him be everywhere. Love yourself enough to love me. Put some respect on that throttle. Ride your ride. And again, going into 2019, we're going to stay in our lane, man. We're going to get this motorcycle community back to being a private entity, and that's what we're going to be. Tell them bye, man.
Hey, listen, y'all. Had a great time. Don't tell nobody, because this here life, you don't understand.
There it is there, man.